The FBI didn't stop at just investigating the physical things they found on the plane. They also did an extensive land and air search operation in an attempt to locate D.B. Cooper immediately after the incident, or any of the items he jumped out of the plane with.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, defining a certain area to search was difficult due to the multiple variables and parameters.
Mm-hmm.
You have the jet's estimated airspeed that varied, and the environmental conditions along with the flight path varied with the aircraft's location and altitude.
Yeah, because they picked a destination, but didn't pick a course 100% certain that the ground had known. So
Right.
it was going off captain's log and memory.
You just had to guess where it was.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that only Cooper would have known how long he was in free fall before pulling the ripcord, which would make a big difference on where he landed. The Air Force F-106 pilots never saw anyone jump from the plane, and radar never detected a deployed parachute. You have to remember that this was a man wearing a black outfit, jumping into the moonless night
In a storm.
and a storm. There was limited visibility because of the cloud cover and a lack of any ground lights where he jumped.
Mm-hmm.
Make it very hard to visually confirm someone jumped out of a plane.
Also very hard for the jumper to land safely.
That too, yes. Especially, I think it was a forest area that
It
we're
was.
looking. So it's even better. The T-33 pilots never made visual contact with the 727, so they just saw nothing at all. They didn't even get there. They were too slow. Hurry the fuck up. On the best day of the year, wrong year, just the best day, on December 6, 1971, FBI director at the time, J. Edgar Hoover, or as I usually like to call people, J. Edgar Hynek, J. Edgar Hoover approved the use of an Air Force SR-71 Blackbird to retrace and photograph Flight 305's flight path. This was in an attempt to locate the items that Cooper carried with him on his jump. The Blackbird made 5 flights to retrace the route of the plane, but due to poor visibility, the attempts were unsuccessful.
Yeah.
In an experimental recreation of the event, the FBI used the same aircraft and flight configuration, and they pushed a 200-pound sled out of an open air stair. They were able to reproduce the upward motion of the tail section and the brief change in cabin pressure described by the crew members.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper's landing area was initially placed a few miles southeast of Ariel, Washington. They're not the Ariel, Washington. Near Lake Merwin. The FBI and sheriff's deputy searched large areas of the heavily wooded area on foot and by helicopter. Doctors. They did door-to-door searches of farmhouses in the area and search parties ran. I said that really weird, didn't I? Wow.
Search parties. Party.
Oh, God. There's a party over here. Let's search it. He might be there.
It's an imprint.
He's not here, Bill.
This is just my buddy Darnabas.
Hey, Darnus, what's your last name? Pooper. Oh, that's really weird. What's your middle name?
Strange.
Billy. Darnus Billy Pooper. Oh, all right.
Very close.
Hey, have a good day, sir. We're looking for D.B. Cooper. They did door-to-door searches of farmhouses in the area, and search parties ran patrol boats along Lake Merwin and Yale Lake. Neither Cooper or any of his things were found.
Mm-hmm.
The FBI then coordinated another aerial search along the entire flight path.
This time they approved the use of missiles.
No, they used fixed-winged aircrafts and helicopters for the Oregon Army National Guard equipped with heat-seeking missiles. I don't know any other missiles. So that's the only missile I was going for. No, the only thing they found was broken treetops and several pieces of plastic resembling parachute canopies, but nothing from D.B. Cooper was ever found.
Mm-hmm.
So they really did do a good search. But then, Oh, then in 1972, shortly after the spring thaw, FBI agents aided by 200 soldiers from Fort Lewis, along with United States Air Force personnel, National Guardsmen, and civilian volunteers, civilian heroes, conducted another thorough ground search. They've been searching the shit out of the ground.
They wanted that bastard.
They're like, we're going to find you, motherfucker.
They didn't.
They did this for 18 days in March and 18 days in April, so twice. A marine salvage firm also used a sub to search the 200-foot depths of Lake Merwin.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
How'd they get a sub in there?
I'm assuming it's one of those non-manned sub or the smaller ones or something.
I was excited.
I don't think they got old nuclear sub in there. We're going to airlift this motherfucker down. Boop, boop. I see nothing.
I'm really excited.
Or maybe Lake Merwin is attached to somewhere they can secretly get a sub in there.
I'm looking up how big Merwin is. I want to know if they got a sub in there for canon's sake.
A huge fucking sub. Yep. Nuclear one.
How is that spelled?
Lake Merwin
I got
is
it right here.
Merwin.
That's a big lake. You can get a sub in there.
Yeah, is any connection to an ocean?
It's connected to many other things.
Yeah, but are rivers big enough for a fucking sub to come in? Let's be honest.
Not the river that feeds it. Not the river
Nah.
that feeds it. I'll give you that one.
I'm sure there were just
I'm
tiny
still saying
subs.
canonically that there was a military submarine.
Yeah,
in
they had a big nuclear sub in there. They were ready to fucking nuke the motherfucker if they found him.
Yeah,
You're embarrassing us!
Oh, maybe.
Johnny, he's right below us. You know what that means, right? Oh, shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You get a sub in that bad bitch.
Oh, yeah. They just airdropped it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, at the end of this extensive search and recovery, and there's no more water in Lake Merwin now. Well, at the end of this extensive search and recovery operation, they uncovered no significant material evidence related to the Cooped case.
Great. Good waste of time.
Cooper case.
Yeah.
I don't know why I autocrapped to Cooped.
Well, because they were.
Autocrap.
Wow. Took a journey.
And a ride. Autocorrected to Coop. What were you going to say? I interrupted you with autocorrect.
I don't remember.
I wiped your brain. Excellent. It worked. So there's no evidence that Cooper safely landed on the ground. No parachute. Nothing of his belongings. Nothing. Therefore, he must have met his fate on that jump, whether it be in a body of water or a remote, unsearched area of woods. Right?
Maybe.
Well, just 5 days after the hijacking, a Reno newspaper received a letter that was thought to be from Cooper himself.
Mm-hmm.
The letter was postmarked from Oakdale, California, and consisted of letters that were cut and pasted into words from newspaper clippings.
Your classic serial killer.
Dubious.
Your classic serial killer letter.
Yeah. Wasn't there a movie that had that? Riddler from Batman.
Yeah, and I think Zodiac did it too. Because the Zodiac Killer did do that.
The first Riddler. But
No,
yeah.
the Zodiac Killer did not do that. The Zodiac Killer had codes and symbols. Idiot.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember who it was.
Go ahead.
Anyways. The letter, that is, read, "Attention, thanks for hospitality, was in a rut, D.B. Cooper."
Oh, shit. Thanks for hospitality.
Thanks for hospitality. This is Reno, so I'm assuming that was meant for the airport.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Who cares?
That's how I'm going to end every, whenever I leave anybody's house from now on. Thanks for hospitality.
The Reno Evening Gazette published the letters on its front page that evening, which people were not happy about because subsequently, years after, there were many copycat letters. So it makes it very difficult to really figure out who wrote who.
Right.
Who wrote who. No, DB wrote them. On December 2nd, 4 days later, another letter arrived with similar cutout wording. This one read, "Plan ahead for retirement income. D.B. Cooper." He's giving life advice now. Make sure you plan ahead for that retirement income. Woo!
Hold a plane hostage, he says. Get that retirement bonus.
Jesus Christ. Well, no, if you plan ahead, you won't have to do that, right?
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. He might have been fucked.
Get fucked. Glenn Cook, a Seattle lawyer, is convinced that I love how I just immediately went into my reading voice. Ha, get fucked. Glenn Cook, a Seattle lawyer, is convinced that the letters to the Reno paper were from Cooper in an attempt to taunt the FBI, and that they hold clues to the question everyone wants to be answered: who is D.B. Cooper? Multiple letters were sent to various locations in the weeks that followed. I think 6 confirmed letters.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 5th one was declassified by the FBI in 2017, I think it was.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and it basically was him saying, I knew I wasn't going to be caught. I left no fingerprints. I wore a wig. I had putty on my face, like,
Mm-hmm.
to mask my appearance and blah, blah, blah. So long story short. But people are using that as a conspiracy that the FBI was in on it and didn't want to be embarrassed by the fact that they couldn't, not in on the hijacking, but that they hid stuff because they didn't want to be embarrassed by the fact that they couldn't find them.
I gotcha.
But I didn't get into that because I was like, oh, this is just, nah. Well, on July 8th, 2016, the FBI announced that the active investigation of the D.B. Cooper case was being suspended. They stated the need to focus their investigative resources and manpower on issues of higher and more urgent priorities.